Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sugar Kitty Mystic. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different and talk about one of the most interesting concepts in my opinion, and that is Saturn. So Saturn is affecting all of us, even if it's not one of your main planets in your astrological birth chart. It is still affecting you, and especially a certain area of your life. So Saturn is the planet of restrictions and limitations. It can be thought of like a grinding or sharpening stone. So whatever area of life Saturn is affecting for you, it will kind of grind you into perfection or godliness in that area. And it does this by giving you obstacles and challenges. So to find out where you have Saturn, all you need to do is go online to any of the birth chart creator services. There's quite a few free ones. You don't have to pay anyone. And just enter your birth time, birth location, and birthday, and it will give you your whole chart, and you want to look for what house Saturn is placed in. So the houses are different areas of our lives. There's 12 of them. I'll put a little mini chart right here, I guess, what it's like. And so when you find which house Saturn is in, then you can see where you're kind of being grinded into perfection. So I'll use myself as an example to kind of give you an idea to understand this concept a little bit better. So for me, Saturn sits in the 6th house of health and wellness. So my whole life, health has been a struggle for me. It is something I'm definitely focused on and very disciplined in. I have to be super disciplined in it, which is what Saturn does. Even when I was a baby, I had pneumonia 16 times, which is insane for a little infant. I've been like a lightning rod for random illnesses my whole life. Prior to the pandemic, I was traveling the world for 2.5 years with my now ex, and every country I went to, food poisoning. Every single country I went to, I got sick in some way, and he would be fine. And I would spend a day or a couple days keeled over the toilet, and he would just be absolutely okay. I've suffered from migraines, the crazy ones where you're like blinded and you're nauseous and you can't do anything but lie under a blanket. You can't read, you can't even look at your phone. It's just like you're pretty much blind. You have visual hallucinations, you have light auras. I've experienced those. So yeah, I have lots of obstacles, lots of challenges with my health. I've had to heal myself from my personal chronic illness, asthma, about 4 or 5 times now. If you have asthma, you know, some days it's like nothing, it's barely anything, and other days it's like you're just dying. You can't do anything, you can't focus, you can't really talk to people, and life just sucks. And so I've had to naturally heal myself from that 4 or 5 times now. Every time it comes back, it's a different area of life I actually have to focus on. So yeah, the first time it was like my exercise and I had to get fit. Second time it was my diet and I had to reevaluate how I was eating. I'm now on one of the most restrictive diets in the world. I'm a vegan, which is yeah, definitely Saturn making me restricted and disciplined in that way. It's been my mental health causing it. It's been having to do shadow work and heal my inner child. Basically any area of your life that can affect your health, I have to go into and I have to figure out what it is and heal it in some way in order to come back to the state of health. So I'm constantly being challenged in that way, constantly being challenged to overcome these obstacles and move through back to a state of health. And it can be very frustrating at times, very difficult. I even went to school for healthcare, which Saturn will kind of give you a focus in that area. You'll notice that it's definitely a pattern for you. It will keep popping up again and again. So I went to school for healthcare, and while I was in college, I had this thing happening where I would just get really hot and then I would just start puking. And I went to the doctor and they couldn't find anything wrong with me. They ran all these tests. Even the doctor was just like, nah, there's nothing wrong, you're fine. But it was like every day for like 6 months I was just puking. Definitely didn't feel fine at the time, but one thing it's given me is I'm kind of a tank when it comes to illness. Like, I can just puke and then go on with my life, whereas a lot of people, they kind of have to like lie down, and now they're sick for the day and they really feel shitty. I can really just push through stuff like that because of Saturn. So Saturn has made me really strong in that way, and it's definitely difficult, it's definitely frustrating, it's definitely challenging, but at the end of the day, the gift that it's giving me is really good health and a lot of discipline with my health and with my wellness, which is something to be grateful for, definitely. And when I found out about Saturn and how it affects the houses and how it was specifically affecting me, it kind of was like this weight had been lifted, this deeper understanding had been reached. All of a sudden, all these difficulties had this meaning to them. And so that's the really beautiful thing about Saturn. And I kind of think astrology in general adds a deeper meaning to a lot of the things that you're experiencing in your life, and kind of this thread of purpose to something that may be upsetting. So yeah, like one of my best friends, he's a lovely man, he's very great in relationships, and his Saturn sits in the 7th house of relationships, and no matter how much he tries, no matter how much he gives, he just keeps getting screwed over. He keeps getting partners that really take him for granted, that treat him really badly, and he's always just overcoming it. He's always just becoming more and becoming better and trying to learn about how he can improve himself, and not really placing the blame on the other person ever. And yeah, so when I told him that it could be because of Saturn sitting in his 7th house, he was kind of like, wow, my whole life makes sense. And so it's pretty cool because on one hand, yeah, it's difficult, yeah, it's frustrating, it's upsetting, it's all these negative things, but it gives us this perfection. It gives us this godliness that we can kind of look forward to. And then when the challenges come up and the obstacles come up, you can think, well, this is here for a reason, and this is making me better, and this is making me stronger and more disciplined in this area, and this is really a gift. Because it is. Saturn is a gift for you. It's just a difficult gift. All Capricorns will know that, because Capricorns are ruled by Saturn. It's a beautiful thing to be a Capricorn, but also kind of a struggle. So, yeah. I hope you found that interesting. You can let me know in the comments if you like videos like this as well. I love doing pick-a-card readings, but, sometimes talking about stuff like this is fun too. If you do look up your birth chart and you find out which house Saturn is in for you, let me know in the comments how you feel about it, how it relates to your life. I'd be so interested to hear from you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day and a beautiful journey.